Immediately, what did you think of Solo?
It was okay.
It was okay.
It was okay.
I thought
I like Rogue One a little bit better.
I like Rogue One a little better because of the ending.
Well, yeah, because of the ending, and I don't know, there's just more action. I feel
in Rogue One.
Rogue One, because it was more of a war, really. Like in Solo, the beginning kind of had something of a war, but
which was cool to see.
It was cool to see.
It was cool to see a little bit of the war in Star Wars.
Yeah.
What about Solo himself?
I mean,
I heard a lot of people say he was the weakest part of the movie.
I wouldn't say he was weak. If anything, I'd say it's probably Woody Harrelson. He's not very Woody Harrelson in that movie. He's a little too serious. He's usually more funny than that. But Solo himself, the new actor, he did all right. But Harrison Ford has his own little charm, which is he's definitely not gonna feel like Harrison Ford.
He's not gonna feel like Harrison Ford.
Yeah, at all, because he's not Harrison Ford. And you can't force him to be Harrison Ford. He doesn't have that, classic Han Solo, Indiana Jones feel. He just doesn't. Because it's not him.
Now, for me, hearing so much about this movie going into it, it kind of lowered my expectations. But you ever think, I guess people or fan bases can get so extreme with something that they can't even see anything good about it?
Yeah, I mean, that's like how people were with the Phantom Menace. Though I don't know if I'd compare Solo to the Phantom Menace. Solo was definitely better.
People treat the prequels like there's nothing good about them at all.
There are parts. There's good parts in there. It's just the overall movies just are disappointing.
I've heard about Solo be said it would be a good movie if it wasn't called Star Wars, and I don't really understand that type of thought process.
I mean, to be honest, it's like Star Wars. It definitely has the feel of Star Wars, but it's like the plot of it could have been like any other movie. It's just like it's a heist movie, and then
So do we hold Star Wars to higher expectations? Because it reminds me of back when DMC came out, and I thought like as a game, as a functioning game, it was a solid, fun game. But it was like, oh well, but it's called Devil May Cry, so that makes the game bad because I was like, really nah. But if the game itself is fun and fun to play and not bad to play, regardless, it's like what makes the whole experience bad, when you can't draw anything good out of something because one or two things may rub you the wrong way. I think the people tend to treat the whole project as just...
I think it also has to do with just like the past. Well, at least with Solo, it's like, they killed him in The Force Awakens. Spoiler.
Yeah, I mean...
They killed him in The Force Awakens. It's just like, 2 movies later, he's over here.
Doing something.
Again, it's like, I don't know, maybe some people thought that was wrong or whatever, but yeah, I mean, just for DMC, it's like, I mean, there's toxic communities anywhere, everywhere really, but I mean, you should at least play the game before you hold judgment, or watch the movie before you hold judgment.
Yeah, people will say, "Oh, the game's terrible." And I say, "Have you played it?" Like, no, I didn't want to play it because it's bad. Like, but how do you know that? Like, how do you come to that conclusion?
Now, it's one thing to say, you're not going to support something because it's not what you like.
Right.
It's another thing to call it bad because
to say it's objectively right.
Yeah.
To say it's objectively bad, it's just it's absurd.
Clearly, Solo didn't make the numbers because
the fan base dipped out on it.
The fan base dipped out on it because of Last Jedi. Last Jedi was very divisive, but I mean, Solo has mixed reviews. Last Jedi had mixed reviews, but it's like, if you didn't watch the movie, don't just call it outright bad. You can say it was a bad decision, but just because, it's...
Right.
Cause,
but don't insult everybody's time and effort and just say that their final product was just bad.
The cast and crew worked really hard on that movie.
Right. And it'd be one thing if they worked really hard and deliver an overall, like, objectively shit product, like bad performance, bad editing, bad music. Right, that's something everybody can agree on.
We've seen that.
Yeah, you've seen what a bad movie is. Why does it seem like that with Star Wars fans, if they personally don't enjoy the movie, I heard people say Last Jedi was the worst movie released last year. And I was like, I've seen a lot of movies last year, and I've seen bad movies. And it's almost insulting to my intelligence to refer to Last Jedi as a bad movie. I'm not saying you have to actually like it personally, but to say, as far as a film goes, editing, score, performance, as far as acting goes, story, what's bad about it? Besides the stuff you personally don't like about it,
I mean,
I've heard people say Solo was a terrible movie. And after just watching it, I was like, well, actually, I enjoyed it. It was, and I think it comes down to how great movies, like I always say, a great movies is like how much I can watch it without having to roll my eyes.
Right.
Or feel the need to, like, if I could change the channel, you know what I mean? Like, if I could sit through the entire film and be at least entertained with it, I take it for what it is, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it doesn't offend me personally. Of course, there was a few moments in Solo where I rolled my eyes. I won't say.
Like the beginning.
There was a few moments.
You just kind of power through that. The movie's more or less enjoyable.
It's a pretty even ride.
It's a pretty even ride.
What about there's that one guy, L3. What about her character?
Yeah. Once you realize the type of character she is, you can either...
You're not sure if it's a parody or if it's just so on the nose that it's parodying itself.
In a way, I want to think like the voice actress was kind of overacting. Because it sounded like she was just kind of like, yes, rebellion. Like seriously? Like, it just sounds like an SNL skit. It really did. It was just, I'm going to take it as a parody because I'm at liberty to do that. If I want to take it as a parody,
you'll take it as a parody?
Because...
Be it intentional or unintentional?
Because then all the robots just started, just stomping on all the controls. It's like, this is clearly a parody.
And you know what? It had that, as much as how people feel about it, you look at Jar Jar, you look at the Ewoks, you look at like characters like L3 and the robots in this movie, Star Wars has always had that element in it where it's just silly. Yeah. At times, it could just get really silly. And when when all that was happening, I was just like, well, this is absurd. But like, a lot of her one-liners throughout the movie were absurd. But I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, I think I don't know if it's just that on the nose that it's parodying itself. I don't know. That's interesting. It's an interesting concept. How do you feel about, because it's quite obvious her character was kind of shoved in the movie.
Who's?
L3, so without spoiling anything. Clearly it's for those characters. You're placed in this movie for this one purpose, and that's to speak this social message or whatever.
Yeah.
And then after that, you have no other relevance to the movie, because she didn't have any other relevance to the movie besides that.
No. Well, I will say, in this movie, it was like, a spark of the rebellion, which Rogue One, solidified, but this one, I think it takes place even before Rogue One, I think?
Yeah, even before Rogue One, yeah.
Yeah, so, with the robots, it was one thing, but I don't know. Like I said, I take it as a joke. It didn't really seem like they were... Was it as on the note, or my bad? Was it as irritating and grating as the cancel bite sequence from Last Jedi? No, actually, no. That one was just way more in your face, kind of preachy. Mm-mm. This one, it just was like, it's there. Like a rebellion. Start the rebellion. Start the rebellion.
Everybody wake up.
Yeah.
Everybody get woke.
Yeah.
Overall, would you watch Solo again?
I would.
Yeah, I actually would.
Hi.
Okay, back. Anyway, cancel bite. Fucking terrible. That whole sequence in Last Jedi was just awful.
It accomplished nothing.
It actually lowered my score for the movie personally as well. If you could just remove those 20-30 minutes from the movie, it'd be a better movie. But this movie didn't have anything that obnoxious. I actually thought it was going to. I thought it was going to be because but I guess that's just another sense of the fandom overreacting. It really shows you really do got to go form your own opinion.
It does. I mean, at the same time, you can't really blame everybody, especially Last Jedi. I mean, some people liked it more than others, but there definitely was some disappointment in that movie. So
I can agree to that.
You can say, since the last movie kind of disappointed you, you can't really have your what's it called? Your hypeness. It's not going to be as high.
Here's a question. Is it necessarily fair though to carry that disappointment over to the next film? Like let's say I hated Spider-Man 3, right? Mm-hmm. But I went into Amazing Spider-Man really excited because I thought I saw it as it's another Spider-Man movie by Sony, but I was like, okay, well, it's another Spider-Man movie. I shouldn't expect this one to be terrible, or should you just expect it to be?
I think a better example would be Transformers 2.
Okay. So I hated Transformers 2.
Revenge of the Fallen.
And I was okay with Dark of the Moon.
But how were your expectations for the third movie?
I thought it was gonna suck.
I
thought it was gonna suck.
Okay, but I guess
because I was mildly okay with the first Transformers. I hated the second one. The third one I was okay with, and then I hate the last two. So
Okay, so, but we're not putting Last Jedi with Revenge of the Fallen.
No, that's a bad movie. That is a genuinely bad movie that everybody can kind of unanimously agree on. That Revenge of the Fallen was just bad. Now I heard people say I think it's fine. You say I personally don't like The Last Jedi or these new. I heard people say they don't like Force Awakens. I heard people say they didn't like Rogue One. I thought all these movies were fine. Now, if you personally don't like them, that's cool. You know, it's not going to scratch the same itch for everybody. But I think when people are slapping like a universal label of bad over these Star Wars movies, when I think all of these movies are better films than none of the movies we got in the prequels.
Yeah. I mean,
I heard people say they would watch Attack of the Clones than Last Jedi.
Okay, now that's just a sin.
Like, I was like, what?
Granted, you know, Attack of the Clones has some nice parts in there. You know?
But I was just like, when was the last time you watched Attack of the Clones? If you really want to say you'd rather watch that than Last Jedi, when was the last time you really looked at Attack of the Clones?
I probably skimmed through it on TV one day. Just like, I was flipping through channels, and it was the fight with Count Dooku. I sat down and watched that, but then once it was over,
that's the only redeemable scene from that movie.
I moved on. I quickly changed the channel.
All right, that was Attack of the Clones, I guess. It's over now. Oh man, no, Solo's it leaves me hope because I did not hate this movie. I've heard a lot of opinions on this movie, and I took those opinions into consideration even while watching the film because I even noticed what people were saying when they noticed their opinions, even though they didn't outright say it. But when I remember their opinions, okay, yeah, I remember them saying something about this, and I can kind of see this.
Yeah, and then, you know, it's better when sometimes you rewatch the movie because you already know what to expect, so you can have more of an appreciation of the movie. That way, it's like you're not just coming out the movie and you're just like your first thoughts. It's like you've collected your thoughts and you've, you know, put a stamp on it basically of like how you really feel in the movie.
One thing I will say, one observation I was making while I was watching the film, it really seemed like, even though a lot was happening in the movie, as far as Han's concerned, to get him from point A to point B, you know, the plot of the film, it was very it wasn't messy in the way they did it, but it almost like a lot of convenient shit had to happen for Han to go where he needed to go. You know what I mean? It was just
like how the rebellion, not the rebellion, the Empire ad, just like, oh hey, join the Imperial Army.
Okay, stuff like that, like stuff that just kind of happened where Han just had to be in that right spot at the right time, and it leave me wondering what the hell was his plan to accomplish his goals if this didn't happen. Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of Resident Evil 5 with the boss fights.
Yeah, like in Resident Evil 5, like every boss, you conveniently had the best shit to kill the boss. Like, I was just like, it's like, what would you do then if you wasn't here? Like, what would have been the plan? You know? And the movie never really, I never really got the answer from that. So it didn't mean maybe Han just kind of seemed like a lucky bastard.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to say it. I don't want to talk about it. So it's probably a spoiler. I mean, we're trying to keep the minor spoilers.
Yeah, some things might be spoiled. I don't think we say anything too egregious.
I don't want to say anything like too.
I do have a proclivity to talk though.
Origins, everything.
Yeah, no, I don't want to go too much into it. Besides, we already been going for 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Which, if this movie can have you have a conversation for 13 minutes in itself, is a good thing, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's not as much as like, you know. Yeah, well, there's a lot of stuff in this movie, but it's like you would think it expands more on the lore, but I didn't really.
It didn't in the slightest.
No,
it didn't. I was thinking it's gonna be they're gonna do a lot of Star Wars lore. We're gonna learn a lot about the Star Wars stuff, and it was like a movie. That's what I appreciate. It just kind of like a movie that's just happening in the universe known as Star Wars, not necessarily. Nothing to really do. The Empire was barely. I mean, the Empire was clearly throughout the movie.
Oh, they were there.
But they weren't like the plot point of the movie, and that was kind of refreshing. Like the stormtroopers was just kind of like there, like kind of like cops, I guess, or whatever. You know, they were just there. They weren't like, oh, we have to watch out for these stormtroopers.
No, I always find it hilarious when the stormtroopers just had those little bits of dialogue or just like reactions to things. It was like when Han met Chewie. I mean, that's not even a spoiler. That's that happens.
Yeah, you know how it means.
But there was like these two stormtroopers just having a conversation, just going back and forth.
yeah.
About meaning, and I just find it funny.
Yeah, their little banter.
It's like everyone knows that we love to hate the stormtroopers. So whenever they get like a little bit of dialogue or they do something silly or just miss every shot, it's just fun to watch.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I would say about this movie. And like, it's not necessarily a rating or anything, but I would say this movie generally is fun to watch. It's a fun watch. It had a grin on my face for the majority of it. There was a few moments where I kind of just rolled my eyes. I was like, oh, that's just kind of cringe. But outside of that,
I mean, for me, I'd say it's definitely a good watch. Definitely more of like a Netflix at home type situation.
Mm-hmm.
It's like it's a good watch. You can probably watch it with the family.
It's no IMAX.
For me, I didn't really get an IMAX feel out of it. It's not even because it was like. I mean, I don't even remember. Did we watch Rogue One in IMAX? I don't think we did.
We didn't watch Rogue One in IMAX either.
We didn't watch. Did we watch Last Jedi in IMAX?
We did.
Okay.
We did watch Last Jedi in IMAX.
Maybe it's just like the numbered sequels that deserve.
Got a bias towards them?
I don't know. I guess a slight bias towards them because we know that's the one that's supposed to expand on the lore. The other ones, I mean, Rogue One did more than Solo did, but
that's the one complaint I could take with Last Jedi. It was like it was like they did nothing to. It was like a movie took place in like basically in a day, and it did nothing to expand the world as a whole. And I was like, I can understand that.
They brought the blue milk back, but we didn't. Did we really need to see where it came from? I didn't want to. It was just disturbing.
Yeah, it was very disturbing. Actually, it was very like, uncomfortable. I would say give Solo a watch. It's worth forming your own opinion for it. There are some movies not it's not even worth forming your own opinion. Like just don't even bother. That's definitely not.
I mean, hell, if you have to matinate the price, go to a morning price matinee.
Yeah, $5.99.
Sure. just go watch the movie. I mean, if you have a hookup to go watch it for free, then go watch it for free.
Go watch it for free. If you like Star Wars, watch it. Seriously, if you like Star Wars.
Definitely support the things that you like, though. Because if you don't support them, you're not going to get them. That's just how the real world works.
Yep. I'm just talking to you, a fucking Marvel vs. Capcom fan. You're fucking it up for all of us. I don't know. It's your boy, Sophie Sarge.